name is Edward Franco. Welcome to the Canadian School of Private Investigation. I'd like to spend a few minutes with you today speaking a little bit about the history and growth of the private sector of law enforcement, and particularly the private investigation field. Our industry can trace its origins back a considerable way through history. There are different sources that we can look at. But specifically in connection to private investigation, we can certainly regard the origins of our industry as dating back to the efforts of people like Eugene Francois Vidocq, who lived and worked in France in the early to mid 1800s, to people like Alan Pinkerton here in North America in 1850. It is interesting to take note of the fact that in spite of the history of our industry, here in the province of Ontario, provincial licensing regulations and requirements were introduced only in 1967, which overall is a relatively short period of time ago. In that first year of licensing, the ministry that regulates us, the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services, tells us that there were approximately 4,600 practitioners who came under the authority of the act that was introduced at that time. It was called the Private Investigators and Security Guards Act. So in 1967, our industry certainly was in its infancy, but large enough that there was some necessity for provincial oversight and regulation. The act came into effect and existed in substantially the same form for a considerable period of time, but our industry was anything but static. In the intervening years, we grew dramatically, and according to information released by the Ministry of Community Safety in the early part of the last decade, in approximately 2003, in preparation for a revision of the act at that time, the original group of 4,600 practitioners had grown. And the growth was in fact dramatic. They had grown to 28,000 licensees, approximately in the province of Ontario, and remarkably, the ministry tells us there were an additional approximately 20,000 practitioners who at that time did not require licensing. So in point of fact, we grew as an industry from approximately 4,600 people to approximately 48,000 people in the space of about 36 or so years, and that was a dramatic tenfold industry increase. Our industry has continued to grow since that time. According to information that we've gathered through ministry resources, today in 2013 there are approximately 68,000 licensees in the province of Ontario, and we continue to grow at dramatic rates. And we'll speak a little bit more about the 68,000 practitioners next time. Thank you.